bring their plants every single year to you, what you're really doing is making your reservation. You're reserving this to be shipped out to you when it's time in your part of the country to plant it. So I always say, you reserve it now, when it arrives, you plant it. And then you get a warranty that's wonderful too. This is a perennial, brand new this year, and really especially for the new gardener. Look at the colors. The colors are beautiful, but I want to introduce you to Katie DeBow. Katie is, first of all, she is a brilliant lady when it comes to flowers and gardens and all of that. In fact, at the Philadelphia Flower Show, which kicked off just a few days ago, she was just judging at the flower show this weekend.
Yes!
And the past day or two.
Yes, I was.
So I'll tell you, and she writes a ton of articles about how to, you know, put your landscape together and about different flowers. So first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
To have you here.
So excited
I know.
to be here.
Isn't it fun that spring is really around
I know.
the corner?
I think I heard like 21 days or something until
Really?
spring.
Oh, good.
Yes, I'm so
we can
excited.
hang in there till
we
then.
We can. I think so.
So reserving these romantic returns daylilies. First of all, let's talk about what does it mean, the romantic returns daylilies?
Oh, well, I just love it when a plant really echoes its name. So the romanticism here, you're looking at the most beautiful color daylily I have ever seen.
Yeah.
You really saw it in those pictures. They're almost like a velvet-like petal. They have this beautiful rosy pink petal with the yellow inside. They are such a bright, bold color daylily for your garden.
They are.
Yes.
And you were saying too that these are ever blooming.
That's right.
What does that mean? Because
So,
that's what I like, ever
I know.
bloomers.
Well, if you've grown daylilies before, some of the older, more traditional varieties bloom once, and they'll bloom for you in late spring, and those are great. But then they came out with daylilies that would bloom again. Well, these are daylilies that will continue to bloom for you from late spring all the way through till fall. So this is even better.
Even better.
Yes.
This is like top of the crop. The other thing too, let's talk, you're going to get all 3 plants for a price tag of $24.36 or 5 payments of $4.87. So you can place your order right now with a credit card, and first of all, you won't be billed until they ship out. So then they won't ship out till it's time for you to plant in your part of the country. Can we plant these in almost any part of the country?
You know, that's the great thing about daylilies is that they work for almost everybody. At Cottage Farms, we really like to pick plants that work for a lot of you because we know that you're coming from all different places.
Yeah.
So these will work in most zones in the country and in most soils. I mean, when we talk about no-fail plants,
yeah,
you know, these are places that you can grow. If you couldn't grow something before, maybe near your driveway, or if you have a hard spot under a tree, or, you know, down near your mailbox where you don't get to that often and you don't want to maintain it,
right,
daylilies are the perfect plant for that spot.
And by the way, you can go on QVC.com and there's a map there. All you do is type in your zip code and it will actually tell you like what part of the country and what zone you're in. We say this is for zones 3 to 9, which basically is going to go from Minnesota and Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way down, you know, et cetera, pretty much to the southern part of the country. Okay, so let's talk a little bit. You said any kind of soil.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter if it's super wet or super dry or whatever. But for the novice gardener,
sure.
How far apart do we plant?
Yeah.
How tall, how wide, things like that?
Well, if you are a novice gardener, these are the perfect plants for you. I know gardening's becoming such a fun and popular hobby for so many people, but some people are afraid to get started. This is the place to get started. Daylilies are so easy. The size of them is, these are a nice size plant. They're about 2 feet tall and they take up about 2 feet of space wide in their maturity. So in their first season, they won't get that big, but in their second season, and then even after that, Mary Beth, you and I were talking, the really fun thing about daylilies is they will multiply.
Yeah, and you get more and more
flowers
more and more every year.
Yeah. So here you're getting 3.
They're like bunnies, only in flowers.
By the end of year 2, you'll double your plants. So it's really a great investment in your garden.
Right. How do they come?
Well, we have a planting demo.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
let's do it.
I love it when you demo how to plant these.
Because I know that sometimes a lot of our plants come in a form that it's in a pot. And so this can be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
So, but this is the fastest way to grow daylilies. This is the way that you will get daylilies and you will get flowers this spring. So I know we're going to do a close-up here before we plant it. I want to show you. So this is what a healthy daylily looks like. And what we just want you to know is plant it, green thumbs up. We're making green thumb gardeners here. All you want to do is leave this green part out of the ground. So you take your bigger digger. You just had Larry on. This is Roxanne De Palma's bigger digger. We love this tool.
Love that.
And you dig your soil about as deep and wide as the roots are. And that's all you do. You plant this in, cover up your soil.
And does it matter? Do I have to go out and buy a big bag of soil?
You know, this is great, really healthy potting soil.
Yeah.
Some of our plants need that. Our daylilies, they don't care. They can be planted in any kind of soil.
Okay, which is great.
Which is great.
And then once you plant it, you obviously want to water.
Yes.
And we water often, like the first season, or?
Like any little baby plant, I would want to make sure you are checking on your daylilies or any plant that you plant in the first year.
I always say it's like babies. You got to give them a lot of milk. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They need the milk
They
to grow.
do.
And so the new plants need a lot of water to grow. But here's the other thing that I think is really nice. Every single time you order plants from QVC, live plants, they always come with a growing guide. And so this is the Cottage Farms growing guide. It shows you what your flower is supposed to look like once it grows. All this great information. And so, you know, and even how to winterize it, everything you need to know is in here. What I like to do is take these and pop them into like a shoebox and just keep them all in there. And so that you could always refer back to them. Because I'm telling you what, when they arrive in March or April or May, whenever they come to your part of the country, you're not going to remember what to do come September, you know? So you got to go ahead and read that.
So, and these are fast growers. So that's the great thing about daylilies is I know that some of us are impatient. I definitely am impatient when it comes to gardening. So in 4 to 6 weeks, what we just planted will turn into this. So these are really fast growers. They have such a return on investment for daylilies. I, you know, really want to stress, if you've never gardened before, this is a great place to start because you will look like a professional.
And here's the other question. What kind of sun or shade or part sun, what do they need?
Daylilies don't care. So they'll take full sun, they'll take part shade. That's the really great thing, is it's hard to mess up with these plants. So the full sun, when we're saying that, that's about at least 6 hours. When you hear us say full sun plant, part shade, that's maybe 3 hours of sun a day. So these plants really can take whatever you give them and they'll reward you with those beautiful pink flowers.
And going back to the ever blooming.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I love daylilies, but every daylily I thought I had ever seen came up, looked good for about 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden everything was laying on the ground.
Right.
And I was like, why would I want that, you know? It just seems like such a little return for all the work. But these do it differently.
They do it differently because they will continue to produce blooms. You know, the flower itself, the reason it's called daylily is because it lasts for a day, but these plants are so loaded with buds. Each stem has at least, you know, 10 buds on it, and it will keep on blooming, and then the stems will keep coming. All summer
So that's what ever blooming means. Now here's the other thing. You know, just like babies, they need the milk, but they need the food and the nutrients, etc. So do your plants. What is this?
Well, that's right. This is our great all-purpose bud and flower fertilizer. So it is these easy little pods. It's the easiest delivery system I've ever seen with a fertilizer. You don't need to touch it. You don't need to smell it. You just put one of these pods in your watering can, 1 per 1 gallon. With these daylilies, since they already have some green poking up, you can start fertilizing them right away.
Right.
I'd suggest once every 2 weeks.
And here's the other thing. This makes 100 gallons. Woo! That's a lot of fertilizer that will last you. By the way, it's also customer top rated. And so if you get one of these containers, you probably have enough to take you through. But don't forget, you don't want to just fertilize the new plants. Don't forget to do your landscaping, your bushes, and all those things. I mean, basically anything, whether it's new or old, it should get fertilized. Okay, you're going to come back. We've got more goodies for you, but stay on the line. And what can we expect?